He prioritized her over me, then called me a cheater for moving on. Let me tell you about the relationship that left me questioning everything. Not because I lost someone great, but because I finally realized how little I was asking for. I'm 32, and a few years ago I dated Danny, 32. From the outside, things looked promising. But from the very start, there was someone always lingering in the background. Annie, his female best friend. And not just any friend. This woman and I actually knew each other. We used to work together. We were cool, even hung out after work sometimes. So when I started dating Danny, I didn't expect her to become a problem. But almost immediately, things felt off. They were way too close. Constant one-on-one hangouts, inside jokes, late-night plans he wouldn't tell me about, even places he refused to go with me, because staff thought she was his girlfriend. And the weirdest part? He never brought me around his friend group, not once in 8 months. When I'd ask why, he'd brush it off. We just don't do that. Or he'd offer to call them at 10 p.m, like that was a real solution. Meanwhile, I'd be sitting next to him while he was glued to his phone, working. But when he was out with his friends, magically his phone was off. He was being present. The double standards made me feel invisible. One night, after a rough day, I reached out and asked to meet up. He said he was busy. Guess who he was with? Annie. Again. Just 2 days before, we'd had this heart-to-heart where he promised to start being more transparent. So I snapped. I went out with a friend, got a little too drunk, and ended things. I regretted the way I did it and tried to apologize. But he ghosted me for 3 days. When he finally replied, he said he was too hurt to ever be with me again. I spiraled, blamed myself, cried for days. Then I heard his grandmother passed away. I reached out and we met up. He kissed me goodbye, and for a second I thought we were okay. But what followed was emotional whiplash. He'd say he missed me, then ghost me. Come back, then shut down, break up, make up, over and over. I stopped asking myself if I even wanted to stay. I was just trying to stop the bleeding. Then came Jake, an old acquaintance who messaged me out of the blue. We caught up over drinks. At the end of the night, he kissed me. And suddenly, it hit me. He made me feel seen, calm, safe, wanted. A few days later, he invited me to a casual get-together with friends. And I realized he was doing everything Danny never did. So I ended things with Danny, who was being cold again anyway, and stepped into something that actually felt healthy. A month later, Danny messaged me saying he missed me. I told him I'd moved on. He lost it, accused me of cheating, called me names, promised he'd changed, then cursed me out when I wouldn't cave. Even now I'm happy with Jake, and I know I made the right call. But sometimes I still think back. Not because I want Danny back, I really don't, but because I can't believe how much of myself I shrunk to make that relationship work. I feel guilty about how fast I moved on, not for Danny's sake, but for my own. I wonder if I gave myself enough time to heal, but maybe that's just part of the process. Maybe the hardest part of healing isn't letting go of the person. It's forgiving yourself for all the time you spent waiting to be chosen. Have you ever been in a relationship where you felt like a guest in someone else's life? How did you move on? Drop your thoughts below. I'd love to hear your stories.